Yeah. I was quite indulged in my drink of water. Now that I'm rested. Ah. Yeah, now that I'm rested, I almost feel like I don't want to do this. I guess too much effort, as they'd say. Okay. Ah. Oh. Oh, okay. Ah. Oh, hesitation. Oh. Ah. 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 The next part, what? I have to thread myself through saws that I can't see with no platforms or enemies to bounce off of? It's exciting, but my word, is this sadistic. Checkpoint. Yeah. Alright, got super dash. Ah, yes. Checkpoint. Oh. Oh, it's a gate. This part's probably going to be agonizingly difficult. Alright. Oh. Completely missed the center barrier. Oh, wow. Ah, alright, no double jump. Wait, can I bounce off of... Oh, I can. Right. Right. Yeah, I can. Ah. Ooh. Missed like a third or a quarter of it. So, you know the first part that I got through to last night? I got to the checkpoint there, and then I got one section past that, so we're 2 sections in right now. But if you remember the map from yesterday, when it kind of did a little pretzel knot on itself, where it looped and had the intersection, this is that intersection. Because here's a gate off to the right. So I need to loop to the left and up and around and hit a lever and then come back. Yeah, the music increased in intensity, so yes, we are a significant way in, although not halfway yet. So how exactly do I want to time this then? How am I going to do this? Oh, I actually have to... Okay, I thought I have to bounce off the saw. Hi. Okay. Alright. Oh. Yeah, choosing to sleep before doing this was the right call. Ah. Alright. Oh, I can't even react to it. Alright. Alright, that's noted. Ah. Okay. Health is present. Alright. Another checkpoint. What? Okay, I think I get... Maybe I vaguely understand. Probably missed the timing there. Okay. Yeah, timing thing. Ah, shouldn't have dashed. Too late on the dash. Ah, too short of a hop. Oh, should I bounce off of it? Probably. There we go. Ah, too soon. Same mistakes. Oh. Oh, that's an interesting thing to do there. Okay, I think I know what I should do to survey. Which is not that. Ah. Maybe I should double jump and then bounce. Oh, that's right, it doesn't recover more than one mask. Oh, almost had it. Almost. That's a new mistake. Nah, I don't heal right now. We're not done. Not by a long shot. Ah, wrong input. Have you tried rebooting yourself? Have you tried turning yourself smashyfancy.exe on and off again? Oh, I did a double jump instead of a wall jump. Alright. Oh, okay. It does seem like one way to go about it, though. So it doesn't distract me, I'll move chat away. I'm not sure if I'll minimize it, but no, that's still at the corner of my eye. Alright, I'll check in between runs. Alright, here. Wait for that to go off screen. Oh, that is one way to do it. I mean, that's a pretty tight way to do it, but I think that is actually a valid way to do it. Crystal dash there. Oh. Alright, one more run and then I'll check chat. That's technically one more run. Yep, nothing new. Too high. Yeah, I'd say a majority of the too high mistakes is that I'm focused a lot on not falling into the saws, so I try to bounce at maximum range. But that, of course, puts me too high. Oh, this is too low. I can't cancel now. Oh. I think I could have recovered that, but I would have needed more composure. I already kind of resolved myself to getting hit. Right. Oh. over-eager to advance, aren't I? Yes, too over-eager to advance. I have a statue here. Let's just heal twice. Alright. Got it. Alright. And for now, chat is back up. It's a fast-moving saw I have to ride up, don't I? Do I have to ride that up, or do I just have to evade it? It feels a bit too fast for me to reliably ride. Ah. Ooh. Yeah, that's tight. If I wall slide, I might be able to let it go past me. At the same time... Ah. That could be one way to do it, though. Nope. Technically, it's possible to bounce off the saw onto the wall as the saw is coming down. Could I reliably do it? At this point, no. But could I in the future? Maybe. Wait, what? Alright, too soon. Oh, yeah, no way you're riding that up. That's way too fast. Ah, loved it. I'm gonna bring up the map so I have an idea of just how close I am. That was one solace I had. Alright, Hollow Knight. White Palette. let's... Okay. Halfway to the next checkpoint, presumably. So I've gotten here. So Alyssa, if you're watching, what you missed is, of course, went through here. You know this part. I got to here in the last stream. In those 5 minutes you weren't here, I went down here to there, then through here, up to there, and you see me go through that loop. And now I need to go from here and get up to around there, which is roughly halfway to the next checkpoint. Oh, hi Nerva. Fancy meeting you here. So the place with the ominous orchestra is the Path of Pain. And I'm not memeing on you, this whole area is actually called the Path of Pain. Yes, I ocean. How am I gonna do this? Bit by bit. Oh, not too close. Maybe I should do it the presumably normal way. Oh. Maybe. I know you haven't played Hollow Knight, or at least I don't think you played Hollow Knight, because this won't really lose me much progress. So I'm not really going... Yeah, here's a little sneak preview. You have to slide down a wall, dash over the spikes onto the other wall to hop up, avoid the buzzsaw, then the wall across, then... Illustrate is better with the cursor. Wall slide down, dash here, wall jump up here, go here to avoid the buzzsaw, then dash across, bounce off that buzzsaw, dash over here, bounce off this one, then double jump and dash to get onto the next screen. And this is the easy part. Yeah, I'll try doing this. Flub the dash. Here's the thing, you can't bounce off these spikes. Some spikes you can bounce off of, but fine spikes you cannot. Therefore, there is no saving myself if I fall. You can bounce off these saw blades, but they are moving fast. Oh, that is the wrong way to go. Okay. Oh, wrong input. Oh. So, Alyssa, since you've played Beat of Celeste, is this closer to B-sides or closer to C-sides? Ah. Okay. Ooh. Oh, too late in the jump. Ah. A half hour in. Yeah. So at the very least, this is a B-side. Oh, wrong timing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Plus, I know in Celeste you have a at least 8 directional dash. You only have 2 directions to dash here. Ah. Ah, too soon. Nope, not gonna work. Oh, took too slow. Ah. Well, the Path of Pain is like that, though. Yeah, there's an HP system, but I mean, we're right next to a soul reservoir that's infinite, so we can heal as much as we want. So it's effectively 1 hit point, or effectively infinite hit points. And same deal, you fail, you go back to checkpoint. So yeah, this is Celeste. Kind of. No 8 directional dash. That's the first fail to that thing. Not too low. Ah. Yeah, I don't think... I've been going about that switch wrong after the first try. I need to dash there. Oh, I missed the saw. Ah, too soon. Too high. Ah, too soon. But that was the right maneuver, but timing was off. Alright. Bit of a panic there that the timing was wrong. Ah. Can you be sure while bouncing on the right side of that? No. Oh, not high enough. Interesting. Ah, too low. Okay. Flub that by wall hopping too much. Okay. That just felt embarrassing. Too high. Oh yeah, Nerva, did you ever get to playing Valley? I haven't checked recently. Nice recovery. Uh-huh. Oh, dang it. Stayed practically motionless too long. Yeah, at least you have time for back rides, though. Oh, really? That's interesting. Neat. Don't think I ever learned how to ride a bike, though. I did ride a scooter, but a scooter is something else entirely. Yeah, I was very afraid of getting a scrape after falling, so I didn't really... Parents didn't force me either. Never really learned how to ride a bike. I feel like I should now, though. Although, oddly enough, my injuries heal slower now than they did in the past, yet I'm less afraid of pain. An injury. Hmm. No, that's... Okay, that was botched, but recovered. Oh, too high. Yeah, it's a scooter. It was it's one of those low-lying scooters, like the... Actually, aren't all scooters technically low-lying? You can think of it as like a narrow skateboard, but with like one of the tall handles that go up to your chest height in front of it, so you know. It's really not much to fall off of there, unless you do some very high-speed stunts. But yeah, those are fun. Oh boy. Yeah, that's something. I wonder what happened to my old scooter. I feel like I'd be entirely too large to work with it now, but still, I'm curious. Okay. Yes, Achilles Vein. Yeah, they were like just the right size, if not a little big back then, but man, they must be like... Wait, the handlebars used to, I remember going up to like my chest, but now they probably only go up to like my groin or my thigh. Maybe stomach at the highest. Definitely not as... Definitely not quite what you recall. Okay. Ah. See, what I keep thinking to do is to, like, wall slide off of it, then just maneuver over to the other side and double jump, but I can't do that fast enough while still retaining the height I need, so I have to dash, but dashing takes me too far if I move it all to the side, so I have to go the other way and then dash, and it's just, saw timing. I mean, that's one way to play your character. You know monks can get very overpowered with all their multi-attacks, though. Oh boy. Yeah, Liz and I have been talking about doing D&D together sometime since I haven't played D&D. And Alyssa, I would have also said has not played D&D, but like just last week she got contacted by friends to do a session, so she's done a session 0. I know you and I, Nerva, had spoken about D&D in the distant past, so maybe we do form a group at some point. Ah, okay. Nope, nope. Ah, but very close though. Very close. Ah, sure. Yeah, I have no idea how many D&D stories you've listened to, Nerva. There's a few channels out there on YouTube. Oh, it's always interesting to listen to them. Oh yeah, you do play Magic the Gathering periodically. Huh. Oh, that's way too scuffed. By this, do you mean the D&D stories or the stream? The D&D stories are usually like 5 or 10 minutes, if not shorter. Oh. That's the same mistake I've been making in the past. Go too far to the right and then dash. Oh, no, there's... I guess as much a break for me as it could be for you. Have to find an older one.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite.
Let's see. Assume go for yes, I'd assume so as well. All right. Yeah.
Brian here. I got a question for you. What was your most fun D&D character?
Yeah, stuff like this. 13 minutes long.
For a quick, single-session game between my friends and I made my most infamous character. He's a warlock. He owns a pizza restaurant chain. His main motivation is to get the deed to Pizza Hut. His name is Papa John. Good luck with that. He sounds like Mario. He looks like Danny DeVito. It became canon somewhere in the session that he is constantly covered in marinara sauce scented hand sanitizer. We unlovingly refer to him as a slimy marinara man. He is the absolute worst. He's chaotic evil, and he hated the characters we were playing with. My friends were playing as their characters from the campaign I DM. Instead of solving puzzles, he found ways to bypass them completely. He climbed the wall over a large crevasse in the ground and left my friend's character in the puzzle room behind him. At the end of that mission, he actually did get the deed to Pizza Hut. He actually showed up in my campaign since. Canonically, he also owns Domino's. He's creating a monopoly.
Yeah, so I guess I don't need to play the whole thing then. The only long-form versions I've listened to would have been Critical Role, which, I mean, those are professional actors doing D&D, so of course it's easy to watch that. Otherwise, it's just these stories, animated or otherwise. Actually, do you want to listen to the rest of it or not? I'll leave it up on the side for now. Alright. When I can actually safely go over to the other monitor, I'll keep it on play. Ah. Sooner than I thought.
Her Royal Highness Princess Anastasia Eleonora Sophia Celeste of Arenwald. It was my first Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition character, and I got in about level 6 in an existing group. There was need for a mage, so I rolled one and leveled up to level 6. As I picked spells, I noticed that there was always a snow or ice theme to the spells if possible. With a nice deck of mostly snow/ice spell cards representing my tome, I went on to the background. My eyes were drawn to the noble background, and it suddenly hit me. I had rolled an Elsa, so I ran with it. Princess Anastasia was currently first in line to the throne of Arenwald, should her sister Queen Maria die childless. And Anastasia had no intention of becoming queen. That would just mean a lot of politics and boring stuff. And not fun stuff like magic and raiding ancient tombs for knowledge. The sad thing was that Queen Maria was slightly paranoid and had this fixed idea that Anastasia's traveling around Arenwald and the rest of the Sword Coast was actually preparations for a coup. So not only was Princess Anastasia adventuring with a small entourage not nearly befitting her status, but you just can't take an army of royal guards while adventuring, especially if it has to happen in secret. She was also scheming to get her sister married to the most fertile and handsome prince or count or duke, if that proved impossible, she could find.
Holy
so that her
shit,
sister
I'm
could
going
get
somewhere.
knocked up and Princess Anastasia knocked down at least one peg in the line of succession. A slight complication or two then appeared at the horizon. First, she was a princess, and then the rest of the group was not nobility of any kind, and just could not understand that things had to be done in a certain way. For instance, that long morning routine to get presentable. They just could not get that. They were used to just get up and eat something, not getting a corset tied, petticoats and overcoats, getting the very long hair brushed and braided, and so on. Or the evening routine to go to bed. You just can't sleep on the ground like a peasant, and certainly not in the clothes you wear by day. Second, she had an uncanny likeness to a certain love interest of Count Strahd, and that brought them to a shadow dimension, where he tried his best to capture and seduce her. So, Princess Anastasia slapped him hard for 1 HP of damage, and then proceeded to scold him that he, a lowly shadow dimension count, had the audacity to try and abduct and seduce her. A princess of Arenwald, that he had no right whatsoever, and that he should kneel before her and beg forgiveness.
Oh jeez, how am I gonna do that?
She spoke as if every other word was underlined, bold, italic, or any combination thereof, which I instinctively did. Instead, he towered up over her and proclaimed that he was immortal and would share the gift of immortality with his beloved Tatiana, and that he would not take no.
Welcome back, Smashy.
Wrong move. The vampire count lasted one round. Third, there was a dragon cult at the Sword Coast that tried to summon the Dragon Queen. That was actually just fun and adventuring by the order of the council. There was just a small issue that Princess Anastasia actually outranked everyone at the council except King Melandrock. On one hand, it meant that the group had influence at the decisions taken at the table. But on the other hand, it meant that the group could not be bossed around just like that. And then there was the matter of her yet unmarried queen sister. And then she turned 18. It was the first time ever I had played a Disney princess as a character.
That's fine. You'll do it some point.
It was awesome. That would be Molly Hatchet, my stout halfling monk of the Long Death, with a fighter dip for mariner style to get climb/swim speed, a barb dip for rage, and a rogue dip for expertise in athletics and intimidation. While technically she was a monk, I reskinned her abilities to be a thug. She started the game with the proverbial hatchet/weapon, a crowbar bashing weapon. She also used it to keep things open, and soon enough,
I don't know if it's the B side or the C side still.
Her background involved being part of the shady side of the tracks, and then trying to go straight, so that her family would let her move back home to care for her daughter. Molly became pretty formidable at higher levels of monk, especially after she picked up a belt of giant strength. Besides being able to swim, climb, and run like the blazes during a fight, and of course she had mobile feet, she could grab and hammer throw opponents, and once redirected a boulder in mid-air to smack a hill giant with it. Rooftop chases were a forte
I think I've heard the Old Man Henderson story.
And dexterity, and she could fall long distances without reprisal. It was
no,
really her
personality,
though, that made her so fun to play. She was a chaotic neutral trying
Half
to turn over a new leaf and be good, but usually sliding right back into her own personal chaos. And I played her like an unholy splice of Roseanne Barr and Tanya Harding. At times, she'd try to be a lady, but usually couldn't keep up the pretense. She was coarse in her jokes, crass in her speech, and would drink anyone 3 times her size under the table, especially when her stout resistance to toxins was supplemented by monk immunity. She was a diplomatic disaster waiting to happen at a moment's notice, and had a habit of picking up pretty things that caught her eye, kind of like a portable hoarder, aka petty thief. She could also be pretty opinionated and outspoken, and was usually dangerous with just a little bit of information. After the party killed a dragon, she recalled hearing a story as a child about how eating a dragon heart could give you magical powers, like understanding other languages. So the party watched mortified as she suddenly took half an hour to cut her way into the dragon's carcass, cut loose its heart, and drag the whole thing back out to carry around on her shoulders for the next few hours while snacking on
I guess it's the B-side.
Another time, she became convinced that one of her dead companions had actually been turned into a rat. So she caught the rat, hoping to find a wizard to turn him back, while meanwhile keeping it in a box in the inn, while often forgetting to feed and water it. At one point, the rat chewed its way out of the box, and she had to recapture him for his own good. It would have been hilarious if she had ever found a wizard who could cast Remove Curse on the rat, and actually have it turn back into a human she didn't recognize. The nuanced part was that Molly was a romantic at heart. She just had no real affinity for it, which made her kind of endearing. The truck driver
and I go into it and it actually pushes me down,
away in pretty dresses on the dance floor. She once swooned,
which really throws off my bounce timing.
Halfling noble, while the rest of the party was fighting for their lives in an ambush she had inadvertently set up for them. And another time, tried to pretty up her back alley inn room with cheap curtains and some weeds in a vase because, well, she just didn't know how to do better. She's one of those characters who isn't much like me IRL, but who I miss playing dreadfully. So, I got to be honest with you, I'm still playing a character that I'm in love with. His name is Father Avadan, or Avadan. It was a GG reference. And I didn't expect to play him long. He was a cleric that worshipped the flying spaghetti monster. My DM kind of laughed it off and said sure I could. However,
calm down and enjoy the D&D stories in the background.
In the world because of how serious I take him. He is currently battling between the idea that the monster might not be real, but he still wonders where he gets his powers from. I've been playing this character on and off for about 4 years, and I've truly been enjoying it. I've got to say, for a joke character, he's no joke anymore. My whole table fucking loves him. My favorite character I ever had was a 3rd edition druid.
Oh, so close.
I originally made the character because I liked the ability to change into animals. So when my friends and I got our hands on the Call of the Wilds, I think that was the book title, and I found the Shapeshifter prestige class, I knew I had to play one. The class basically let me change from only becoming a type of medium or large animal into almost any type of creature. Dragons, fae, elementals, undead, you name it, and I knew enough about it I could turn into it. Which was the one stipulation the DM put in for the class. I had to make a knowledge check about the creature before I could turn into it. Unless I had killed one before and studied it, had to keep a sheet for what I had killed. For every 5 points above the base DC of 20, I could be more accurate and use more of their powers. At one point of the campaign, we had to track down the enemy commander and his army.
That's what I wanted to choose a name.
We needed to find a way to prevent him from destroying the town we had made our base in. So I did my role of scout by changing into a bird and trying to find the army. After a week of on and off flying, I found the enemy army and had to figure out how to slow or stop them. I started out by waiting until the commander gathered his generals that night and changing into a fly and literally being a fly on the wall and listening to their plans. The next day, I was again in my finch form, sitting in a tree and began to sing. There was one feat that made this character truly memorable. It allowed me to cast spells while in wild shape or shapeshift. And the spells sounded as if I was in the animal's natural
just gotta take the L on that one.
Movement. So 10 minutes later, and
jump
the
way too
army,
late.
while getting ready to march that day, noticed that the weather changes to stormy weather. They then need to take more time to cover the supplies so the weather doesn't spoil
Oh,
or
that-
blow away any of the supplies.
Yeah,
And
that's
10 minutes later,
Yeah.
lightning begins to strike the enemy camp.
I thought I
This
could make it
lasts
without
for
a
about
dash.
2 minutes before the
No.
enemy commander realizes
No,
that
no,
the
no.
only tree in the area is the only thing not getting hit by the lightning, since the lightning was focused on their supplies. He then hears me singing and puts 2 and 2 together. So I get driven away and leave the enemy army alone for a few hours, then I come back and do it again. I proceeded to do this for a few days before changing my tactics. The enemy army had to then cross through a canyon or go around it, which might add a week onto their march. While they went through the canyon, I turned the ground into mud over and over. Then I trapped as many as I could in the mud, then turned it back to stone. With them trapped, I changed from a small bird into a dragon and passed over them using my breath weapon. By the end, I had delayed the enemy army by a month and starved them of most of their supplies, and the DM became paranoid of birds in campaigns, especially when it was my turn to DM. That's really clever. I love that one. Hey everyone, Brian here, checking in after the vid as always. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to ring that little bell over there to get notified whenever we
Loved it.
post a new video or when we go live. And if you'd like to submit a story, you can do so on our subreddit, r/Mr. Ripper. Post one on there, and make sure to follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Links are going to be in the description
Yeah,
below.
that's weird.
Using a help action, come on over and say hi to my YouTube channel, Brian Von VA, where I stream games, make D&D content too, and voice act some lovely memes. As a positive today, I just want to say, anyone who's out there listening in, I want to know what your favorite character was. Something that you really, really liked seeing, but not in D&D, but in a cartoon or in a TV show. A character that you really could harmonize with. Let me know about that because I want to know a little bit about you, the listener. All the love. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Alright. Yeah, dreams get weird like that. Oh yeah, Nerva, you still there? Or nah? I don't know. Tends to conk out without much fanfare. Holy shit. I made it. Okay. So, just a moment for the holy shit, I made it. Okay. So on the project I told you about, indeed. Instead of ordering the GUI stuff for Python, I ended up thinking to do some automated testing to set up some stuff for that, and yeah, I have another file now that can randomly generate some Sudoku boards, but it's not perfect. It's pretty rough. And if I want the boards to be all solvable, I figure let's just make a Sudoku board that's already solved and just pluck out random numbers. But if I want to do that effectively, I need to use the thing I'm testing for, which kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah. It's the problem with it is that I have it set up to so I already forget which order it does it in. Oh, now I remember. Yeah, so it'll make however many Sudoku files as you want, and it'll output them in a format that the thing I'm trying to test will actually take, so I don't need to modify them or worry about that. But when it makes the puzzle, it makes the blank table, just filled with all zeros. And then it picks a random coordinate, and it checks what numbers can go on that coordinate. Like, it actually checks the row, the column, and the box it's in to make sure you put down a legal number. And it does that until you've filled up as many squares as you tell it to, whether that be 9 squares, or 40 squares, or 81 squares. The problem is that as you get to a higher number of squares, you may run into the issue where you have a box where no number is legal, and we have a problem, because at that point you need to change another number. Because we've been putting them in randomly, we don't know which number to change or where they are. So, yeah, limitation of that. Can't really do boards with a lot of filled-in squares. I'm just going to ignore that nonsense. Going by the spears there, I'm guessing I can't just crystal dash my way. Yeah, so I was thinking, oh yeah, I could, say use my the thing I'm trying to test to make a Sudoku puzzle, get the complete thing, maybe seed the first 9 with random numbers so we have some variety in the puzzles, and then just pluck out random, basically blank erase random squares. But that defeats the purpose of the testing. Yeah, committing Sudoku really is hard work. But it does bring honor upon your family. Alright, I'll try this. Oh my god. Okay, so I can crystal dash the first part, but holy fuck the second part. So, another way I thought of doing it is instead of picking random coordinates, I instead just go through each square but give it % chance to assign it a number. And while that is a different way to generate a randomized Sudoku board, I still kind of have to do... I still kind of run into the same problem, though I might have a better time addressing it. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Ah, too high. This one does not seem infinite to me, by the way. And maybe it is, I hope it is. It should be, otherwise, what the fuck game, but, you know. Ah! Too short of a hop. Okay. I mean, alright, the other way I thought of I could do it is you fill out the board, and then afterwards you run through every single square to make sure that the board's solvable, but that would then take a long time, and we don't know how many passes it would take. And I feel like that's just not worth it. Like, something that could run that slowly, potentially that slowly, just wouldn't be worth the effort to design. Ugh. So I guess all I'm really left with is just, hey, let's just use the thing we're testing to test the thing we're testing. Otherwise I have to run into issues. I mean, the Sudoku solver can already detect if a board's not solvable, so that's fine. It'll just send it back with, yeah, you can't solve this board, and it'll let you know, but... Oh well. Ah. Yes. It's kind of what I've been saying, Narva, is... Oh, that... At first it sounded like something I'd already said, which is to use my Sudoku solver to create a finished board, and then just pluck out squares from there, and we have a random Sudoku board. But what you just gave me the idea for is you have one finished board, so we don't necessarily need the Sudoku solver program to make that board. And then we randomly pluck numbers out of it, like before, but then we randomly modify what numbers are left. Because I can get what values are legal inside each spot. I don't know if that'll make an unsolvable board at some point, but that could be one way to do it. Huh. Ah. Yeah, so what I was thinking, I'll say that for this try, which is very short. What I was initially thinking along those similar lines is, because the Sudoku solver basically always tries out 1 in the first square and then 2 in the second square and so on and so forth, you're going to end up with very samey looking puzzles if you use that to create the finished puzzles that we then pluck squares out of. However, if I say take the first row, or the first column, or the first box, and just fill up those 9 squares with random values, from 1 to 9, because we can make sure those don't conflict, and I know any board that just has those 9 in there is still solvable. So I can do that, and that'll add some variance to whatever Sudoku solver comes up with for a solution. However, the issue with that is I'm trying to generate random puzzles for Sudoku solver to be tested with, so using Sudoku solver to create the puzzles I'm using to test Sudoku solver with is an issue. Unless your goal is just to make randomized Sudoku puzzles. Yeah. I guess I can try and do both. Make a script that just makes randomized Sudoku puzzles for your own pleasure, and then do, based on what you've inspired me about, to try and make some testing puzzles. Exactly. Oh, too far right. I mean, this should be the home stretch of it, if I bring up the map. Yeah, we're in the home stretch. And we fall down, and then we have something, and then we're at the end of the path of pain. And it's been an hour and a half since I started the path of pain. too far again. Alright, that's fantastic. I look forward to the stories, if you ever get any stories. Honestly, it's up to you. Ah. Oh, so I won't see you for the next 3 days. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, because it's Wednesday tomorrow, but then Thursday's the day that stream's off, and you're doing laundry, and then you're going out for Friday and Saturday, so yeah, tomorrow then Sunday. Will be lonely. Again, that same mistake. Probably not double jumping. No, I'm definitely not double jumping soon enough. Monarch Wings, save me! And that's wall jumping too soon. But if I wall jump too late, I hit spikes as well. Yeah, it's when they go down I should go. Okay. Ah, I got the timing right. Didn't bounce. Timing wrong there. Oh, I lost a hit point. Ah. Ah. Nay. Final stretch. Have you begun the path of pain? Ah, too high. It sure doesn't feel too far. No, I think by the 2-hour mark I might be starting to get frustrated, but so far it's been closer to a flow state than any kind of pain. Too focused on getting a bounce off, huh? Go. Ah. Okay, you go watch your new video then. Yeah, so I don't think stream will end tonight until I finish the Path of Pain, but I will take breaks if need be, so there may be long stretches of nothing where I'm basically AFK. This also may go on for I don't know how long. I mean, at the current rate, I guess by 2 hours I'll be at the end of this, so it should be normal, but just letting you know. Because if I stop at 2 hours and I haven't finished this, I have to start from the beginning. And that's a no. Ah, Maja Faja. Ah. Well, I think that's infinite. That's good. Ah. You know, Artha, given you have such short attention span, I really have to wonder how you play grand strategy games like Crusader Kings 3. Like, would that require a lot of attention? I sense a paradox. Oh, I heard the bounce. Didn't get the bounce. That was fast. Oh, just 3 minutes. Never mind. Ah. Oh, too high. Fair enough. Yeah, I think this requires a lot of forethought and planning and reaction, too. Ah, okay. At least I'm getting the first one down easier, though, if I just go straight for the second. Sorry, YOLO for the second instead of getting my bearings. Ah, too high again. I don't know, I used to be a fairly balanced spread. I was good with reaction, though that has dulled over the years, probably due to a mixture of aging and no exercise. Oh, I got... How did I botch that moving saw? I know I got a bit hesitant, thinking I wasn't gonna make it. That I was either falling too far fast, or I just wasn't far over. I don't know. I don't know what exactly caused it, but I know I flubbed that. Eeh. Oh, gosh. That was very tense. I felt my... I contorted my body during that. My word. I'm gonna take a pee break. And while I take a pee break, I'll get a D&D video up. Because those are good to listen to.
everyone, it's your favorite.
Which one? Which one? Here we are.
Slithering tendrils of your immense consciousness with the data.
Alright. So while I'm gone, first off, falling down on this. Yeah, 0 should be fine. And then while I'm away, listen to this.
Good day, you M. Night Shyamalama Ding-Dongs. Welcome to Rip Daddy's House. I'm Dave Makes Noises, and today we're asking D&D players, what is the craziest plot twist you've witnessed in a campaign? Part 2. Not D&D, but Changeling the Lost. It's part of World of Darkness, and we were investigating a series of changeling disappearances in our city. The only people we really trusted was our player group, one of our mentors and the leader of the Winter Court. Changeling Society is divided into 4 courts that each rule during a season of the year. Most of all, we absolutely did not trust the Fall Court leader since he had given us a bunch of conflicting information before. Finally, our friend's mentor is kidnapped, and we figure out where she is. So I call out my court leader, I was of the Winter Court as well, and we head over to the place. Getting there, we fall into a trap and end up being captured. That's when we finally put all the pieces together and realized that the leader of the Fall Court had been manipulated into providing us with false information by our friend's mentor, who was being mind-controlled by, you guessed it, the leader of the Winter Court. That led to a really intense encounter where we had to battle a much more powerful changeling than us, and ended up almost killing the leader of the Spring Court, who was also under a mind control spell. It was one of the most intense encounters I've ever played that didn't involve direct combat. Changeling is a much more social and roleplay heavy game. That was a short game, but full of memorable moments like this. We were a group of strangers who were traveling north together for safety in numbers. It wasn't turning out particularly safe, but does it ever? While resting after the first big disaster involving a port town and black powder smuggling, one of the characters takes a look at a deck of cards he pulled off a corpse. The DM suggests that we draw cards. Most of our level 3 characters, uninitiated and curious, give it a try. And that's how the party ended up chased by the devil. My ranger had taken the oath of Cheverash to avenge her murdered sister. After spending over a year with my character hunting down the drow responsible, I found out about 5 minutes ago that during a session I may or may not have even been at, that the drow in question had a city dropped on them, and my oath has been fulfilled. I'm now having a crisis of faith and need a new goal. In a separate campaign with the same DM, my half-elf cleric was shocked to discover that her elven father was not, in fact, the man who raised her, but a high-ranking general in the army who the group had just rescued from being possessed, and who had been keeping her existence a secret from the very conservative leaders. The next day, she helped him die, and I genuinely cried. We were playing a game set in the Game Master's world, and I had a pretty unique setup from the start. In this world, humans are the master race, and other races are generally enslaved or very poor. Anyway, I was a human rogue with a heart of gold, with a slave high elf. One of our party members was a wood elf, and he would not let the fact that I had a slave high elf go. He kept trying to get her to come with him and leave me. No matter how many times the game master told him that she didn't want to go, and she kept hiding behind me, he would not take the hint. At one point, he tried to sneak off with her from a camp, and I had to threaten to kill him if he didn't quit it. I would have too. I was by far stronger than him at low levels. Anyway, eventually we revealed that she was actually a refugee, and her entire clan had been slaughtered by the orcish horde. To avoid her being actually enslaved, I offered for her to come with me as a pretend slave, and I'd protect her. Good campaign storyline, useful to have an extra high elf up my sleeve. This is long, but I hope worth it. Years back, like mid-90s, I hosted a game in my comic store. We'd play after close until late and had all sorts of interesting players. People who'd never gamed, magic card addicts, and several complete gamers like myself. Really great DM and a party that varied from 5 to 10 characters depending on who showed and life circumstances. Game ran weekly for several years. Homebrew world, dwarves were all lawful evil technologists, and kinda Nazis to be honest. Elves were more like Native Americans, their once proud civilization destroyed by some unknown force, which was often alluded to have been humans, but it didn't quite match observations. There was plenty of speculation. Now that the stage is set, I was playing a homebrew psionic knight, basically a lawful good Jedi named Timrock the Pullman. Backstory was he was happiest just being on his barge and fishing. Early on in the game, I started seeing visions of these bearded ancient mages. They helped guide me along a few times. Their lore helped the party solve some problems, things of that nature. We gained levels and power, went into the Underdark and whipped up on some mind flayers and barely managed to defeat a mind flayer brain, which is when we got our first clue that it was the mind flayers that drove the elves away and cast down their great cities thousands of years before. We continued to gain in power. Much of the party was ruling over their own petty kingdoms, founding temples, and all the high-level stuff that you start on around 13th level. Timrock basically went back to his barge, and I started playing some secondary characters for flavor around some of the other PCs. These side adventures, side for me, but main story arcs for the other players, had a recurring theme. High elves would show up, seemingly from the far future, chain swords and personal shields, and demand to know where Timrock the Destroyer was. A few NPCs died and all the other players were freaking out about what my character could possibly have done to be hunted like this. Massive speculation and a few pissed off players when one of their more favorite NPCs got whacked. I was as confused as they were, but a good chunk of them thought I was up to something. The DM asked me to take Timrock out of retirement after a few months. The bearded wizards had sent me another vision. I was to gather my companions and join them to prevent the high elves from enacting a ritual that could doom mankind. Naturally, I went out and convinced the rest of the group. Many were super reticent to assist. In fact, some of the players simply decided to play NPCs in my orbit rather than risk their characters on any destroyer quest line. We traveled to where the ritual was to be, and my orders were to smash the altar before they could start the ritual. Easy peasy, since we were there several weeks before they were. We all smashed the altar, expecting a bunch of high elves to descend on us with high-tech weaponry. We'd die gloriously,
Mr.
but at
Ripper.
least
That's
they
who.
wouldn't be able to invade this world. Then, from the shadows of the trees, out walked the bearded wizards, and as they approached, they slowly changed. Their beards began to writhe, and their skin began to darken. They'd been mind flayers all along. Years of real-time gaming. Decades of in-game time. Powerful mind flayer psionics had been manipulating my character. The altar was a ward to keep them from calling down the great mind flayer brain. The help they'd given us in the Underdark was to set up the High Elves into believing that the world was safe for them to return to by sacrificing this planet's brain. Once they came in force, the Mind Flayers would wipe them out and take over their realm in the astral plane. Now that I destroyed the ward, they could call in the brain that traveled between the worlds, and we were all well and truly fucked. Timrock, for your service, we will consume you last, but your companions. It was on. Fight for our lives against these guys, but we were simply outgunned. All the NPCs were consumed and their essence used to call down the great brain. The PCs were basically told that we were first on the menu when he showed, as he'd be super hungry crossing the gulf between the worlds, and we were powerful enough to satiate it, so it wouldn't eat them. The other players were pissed. We'd been playing these characters for years, and there was basically nothing we could do. I was pretty upset too. I mean, the DM just pwned us with the longest of cons I've ever seen in any game. Then the portals opened, and high elves started pouring out of them. First thing they did was set us free and heal us, giving us some high-tech buffs that basically equates to a long rest in 5e. We're back in the fight, as it were. Massive battle as we pour everything we've got at the brain. Finally, we win, and everyone is kind of looking at the high elves like, okay, so are you going to kill Timrock the Destroyer now, or what? Long story short, the elves knew that I was being manipulated, but also knew that I wouldn't have tried to harm them or their rituals without a damned good reason. So they gave me one. Then they allowed me to destroy the ward against the Great Brains so that the Mind Flayers would summon it. And since it would be tired from getting here, they figured they had a good chance of killing it. Pretty epic story arc. The thing is, all the players got arcs that were almost as cool. Quite a spectacular game. Had a campaign where the big bad was an immortal death bard. He had basically done something that put him sort of outside time and had been around in the world, and we'd heard of him in other campaigns. Eventually, we did manage to permanently kill him at the end. Next campaign was set in the same city. At the same time, by killing him, we'd created a time paradox, and the new campaign was to stop what would have been going on if we hadn't been in the picture. We all rolled up the same characters with slightly different backstories to account for the paradox. Like, my character had originally been an assassin who converted to being a paladin in the old campaign and started as a paladin in the new one, etc. It was a blast playing the same characters again, which really were on everyone's list of favorite PCs, and have a minor plot from the previous one be the big bad. The final boss only took damage in the form of healing spells, and did an absolute fuck ton of damage in comparison, with a very calm railroad of a campaign that far. Also, you didn't have an actual health value. When you took damage, you simply lost constitution until you had 0 and died. Just before we killed it as well, one of my party members decides to kill all of the other remaining party members so they could be the last one standing. All in all, it was a really scuff game. Another edit, I decided to be a meme and make my character a high elf cleric who was racist towards humans in particular. Salutations, my sweet summer children, and thank you for intertwining the infinite slithering tendrils of your immense consciousness with the data stream contained in this video. And of course, for doing so until the very end. If you're
Alright, that's the end of that. Because I have a feeling I may end up playing one of these later for a break, I'll just leave it on the side instead of closing it. Wait, you can't do the Path of Pain? I mean, it is the Path of Pain. Alright, audio's gone. And just go to lay down. Do one of two things. Try them both. Either keep your mind occupied with something, or empty it. Yeah, it's either force your mind to keep thinking on a single topic, which eventually you'll just so absorbed in the topic you'll just drift off to sleep before you realize it, or you empty it of everything. Yeah, just okay. Meantime, one more go. Ah, alright. Oh, I know I don't have to, but I want to. Gospel, but it's a skid and pump. What? It's a weird-ass fucking name. Oh, but the Skid and Pump cover. I don't know what Skid and Pump is. Gospel just reminds me of the Bible. The only context I've heard the word gospel in. Okay. If it was like gospel, but it's a Skid and Pump as like a video, or it's just you make a holy Bible out of a skid and a pump, which is just what? Be entertaining. But it's a cover of a song, I'm guessing. That's entirely different. Oh, it's Friday Night Funkin'. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Too much hesitation. Just give me the full title to search for. Instead of 8 different half sentences. I have like 20% of me that wants to look up a video of someone doing the Path of Pain just to see how it's done, just so I can see what's ahead. Don't have to be like, you know how last night during that Friday Night Funkin' mod where you got to the long pause and you're like, what the fuck is this, and just stopped? That's happened a number of times to me here, and I tried to continue, but I'm still also wondering what the fuck am I supposed to do, because it's so far in and it takes a while to get back. So yeah, if I watch a video of it, then it kind of robs me of the discovery side, but you know, less frustration, I suppose. Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi, 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 hoi. Ah, I used my double jump. That's a Fred FNF gospel. Okay. Flop the walls, good. Thanks, Nerva. It's just something to hear. Good luck with the rest of the Path of Pain. Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that is a name I can search. Sea Arch. Alright. Let's pop that into the search bar. The first one? Okay. Alright. Over eager to advance again. I don't know. Next time I take a break from this. Holy shit, I actually got that bounce. Never mind the fact that I jumped... I was so surprised I jumped straight into the ceiling, but yeah. Jeez. Then I watch it at the end of stream, obviously. Shouldn't have tried to go for the third spike. Takes too long. Don't need help with this part. This part I've done. Oh, dash too soon. Nope. Not good. Oh, I thought I could make it far enough. Well, I'm not even close to the end, mate. But I get where you're coming from. This is pretty close most of the time. Should have dashed. Full health. Fucking spoilers, you asshole. Too high. As long as you can learn from a mistake, it's fine. No, dude, I'm completely blind about this game. Thought I mentioned that. This was my first playthrough, first save file, first character, first time in all of these places. I know nothing about this game other than a good game. Well, knew nothing. I now know most things about this game. Thanks, Perseverance. Well, let me say this. Do your parents know there's a boss at the end of this place? Because if your parents don't, that's not everyone. That was a dumb double jump. Ah, should have bounced off the vertical. Wait, a few parents? You have more than two parents. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. You kind of have to grow up with games to be good at them. Well, actually, hold on. I need to really goddamn okay, never mind. Some games you don't have to grow up with them to be good at, though. Mostly the thinking games. Your parents could do fine in, say, turn-based stuff. Or strategic stuff, but, like, precision platforming, reaction-based things that, yeah, you kind of have to grow up with it. Oh, rude spikes. Very little? Because you think you have like 3 games that you've played. Super. Autocorrect game. Have you ever tried typing out text message just entirely with auto suggestion and autocorrect? Like, just type the first letter and let the autocorrect fill in the blank and keep it going for as long as it will and see what kind of sentence pops out. Interesting experiment. I mean, don't send the message, it's gonna be a bunch of gibberish, but like, it could be surprisingly close to an actual sentence. Oh, that was... yeah, I flubbed there. Alright. Ah, too late. Oh, okay. Huh. Alright, the urge to go see the video of this section is growing, so I think now might be a good time to break. If not, look up that video. Ugh. Oh, 30 improvements? Cool. Yeah. It's the kind of semi-nonsense you'll get. I can imagine this in game already. I can imagine. Seems to be your main game. I wonder which Uto it is, though. That vibed a lot more than I thought it would. And who is... Oh, I skipped up the actual name of the Utao, but never mind. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I'll look up this section. Hollow Knight's Path of Pain. Freaking hit list is less than 4 minutes. God damn it. I mean, I knew it would be short if you were flawless, but holy fuck. Ugh. Ah. Oh, that's... I didn't even think of that. You just ever so briefly flickered your charms. It's just... Oh my god. What? You have just 2? It is hitless though, I guess. Yeah, this might be the right call after all, if it shows me some new ways to do things. I saw that second hit for hesitation's sake. Oh, there's one way to do it. Instead of doing short hops, you can do 1 short hop and a dash. Yep, you got the versatile dash here too. Oh, I think he's pausing to block the long fall, hard fall animation. Oh, that is some precise genius, I will say that. Like, wow. Okay. Not even wall jumping. Alright. 2.5 minutes, he's to where I am. Ah. Oh, and that's clever. Oh, I'm very close to the end of this segment. Okay. Okay. Ah. Do I watch the rest of it or no? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I have the pain. Fuck. Ugh. Okay. Oh, it's... yeah. Oh, yep. Alright. If you're not going to make a new video, then you have the path of pain to traverse. Ugh. At the point The room's getting humid and a little warm. So now my hands aren't dry anymore. Okay. Okay, maybe I've wiped my hands enough. Should never do a full hop. I got so close to the end though that one time. Oh, same mistake as 2 times ago. Oh, okay. Surprised myself with that. And full HP. No, that's too low. So you need to go fight some dream bosses. You know I could hit spikes. Was it like 1800 essence? Something like that. For it too soon. Okay. Spike timing. But instead of doing what you said, you watched this and chatted, so... Things. Okay. Oh, interesting. Go too high, get blocked. Nailed too late. I might need an AC break, which would take like a half hour to an hour though. Because if I do that, the room will cool down and my controller and hands will dry off, which will help me. And I'll feel cooler. And I'll have let my nerves rest, but also extend stream time by a long time. And I don't know if I want to do that. Too much hesitation. Same spot again. But I'm starting to get there consistently. Starting to. Ah. Oh, okay.
So we gotta lean back and stretch a bit.
Ah. Ah. Excusez-moi. Ah. Ah. Yeah, I think I'll take like a half-hour break. AC break. That should... Okay, go off and skedaddle to do whatever. I'm not going to turn off stream, nor will I turn off the game, otherwise I lose my progress. But I'll go into a BRB screen, turn on my AC, and cool off for a bit. Okay. Fairly long break, but hopefully that should be enough to get through. In fact, I think to help with that, I'll minimize the chat too. That way I don't have any distractions other than the music. Same spot. Already feeling a little bit of sweat on my hand. Okay. My hands will not stop being a little... An hour is not long enough to perfectly dry out my hands, or at least stop them from sweating for 5 minutes. So on with the gloves we go. Which means there'll probably be a few more failed attempts as I get used to how they've made my fingers 2 millimeters wider. Yeah, that really does bum me up. Alright. Doesn't quite feel right. Rotate one. Main issue is that my left thumb, when it's handling the D-pad,
feeling the seam of my thumb. Seam of the glove pressing into the thumb. It's a little bit distracting, but more so it's causing feedback I'm not expecting. It's causing abnormal feedback.
So I'm rotating that part. I made it! That's it. Path sealed off. We're done. We're done. We're done. Registered an entry in the journal. Seal of binding. Intricate seal of ancient design used to contain a powerful force or to preserve something of great importance. We're done. We're done. Huh. Okay. Chat back up. Alyssa, you're still here? By the gods. Word. Yeah, I was a little worried about in the meanwhile too, if it was going to cut off from all the dead air. Fortunately not. The new entry, maybe that's what I need to complete the journal. Now I need to decide whether I want to finish God Home or just go to the end of the game. Thank you for sticking around so long, Alyssa. Path of pain is done. The P side has been finished. Hey, Hunter. You got anything for us? Nope, only a few left. You know, we're wikiing things already. I'm gonna go look at a bestiary of this, see what the heck I'm missing. Or actually, let's go through it slowly first. See if there's any not listed. I know there's a God Home ones, but I don't know if they count. So far, everything's been filled in. Man, the mental exhaustion is just all starting to come in. I know I took that break, but, like, the release is really quite something. Might be a vegetable for a while after stream. Okay. So if there's anything I haven't gotten in the journal yet, it's either a hidden entry of an unkillable enemy, or it's an enemy I have not seen. And I highly doubt it's the latter, but whatever. Enemies, alright. Hexagome. Oh, that, yeah. Valley, Husk Warrior, Husk Guard, Entombed Husk, False Knight, Maggot, Mender. Menderbug? Huh? Ah. Oh my god. That is... That is quite the Easter egg. That is legit quite the Easter egg. This is an enemy that has a 2% chance of spawning if you broke the sign at the beginning of the game. And also, it's the bug responsible for repairing all the shit we destroy on our way. Alright, that's one to hunt for. Mouse Fly, Mouse Can, Volatile, Mouse Can, Full Eater, Squid, Obble, blah blah blah, Mass Flight, Oka, Mousy Vagabond, that's... That's what I thought. If I don't get there early enough in the game, I don't actually encounter this enemy type. I just see their corpses. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, I still get the codex entry for it, so that's fine. There's some missed content, though. Durandu? In Duranda? Who? Oh, those things! Oh, I don't think I have those entries. Wait a minute. can kill them? I thought they were unkillable. I have to hit them in the eyes. Oh. Oh, well, that's 2 entries I can work on. Honestly, hunting down these is going to be a nice change of pace from Seaside. Gorgeous Husk? Buttonous Husk is probably, yeah, that thing. Gorgeous Husk, though. What? Location is the Haunted Fountain in the City of Tears. Oh, I either may have killed this thing already or not. I'm not... Oh, hidden room. Okay. Yeah, there's actually quite a few enemies I missed then. Huh. This is that 99% I talked about. I can get the vast majority of stuff on my own in a game. That last little bit takes... I would not be able to find. Wait, a horp? They're called horps? Oh, those things. The funny little creatures. Horp. We got the miners, crystal crawler, crystal hunter. Then we have the infected stuff, sure. Then we have deepness stuff. Corpse creeper? It's a corpse creeper. Oh, those things. Yeah, I've killed enough of them. Yeah, the corpse creepers are creepy though. At least the first time. Little Weavers, Talking Devout, Nosk. God damn, Nosk was fucking creepy intro. I still cannot properly explain just how disturbing it is to see a clone of yourself in fucking tunnels. By the gods. New Fly, Primal Aspid, Hopper, Great Hopper, Grub Mimic. Gee, how many Grub Mimics are there in the game? 1 in Crystal Peak, 3 in Deepness, and 1 in the 10th wave of Trial of Conqueror. And you need to get 5, which is, yes, 1 of each. Okay. Or you can repeat the Coliseum of Fools fight. Hiveling, Hive Soldier, Hive Stuff, Spiny Husk, a Loodle. I should have Loodle. Yeah, I got Loodle. It's just such a funny name. Loodle. Ladle. Sharp Balder, Armored Squid. Oh, this is just Coliseum of stuff now. Zote. Zote the Mighty. Zote the Unkillable. Zote the Endless. Zote the Eternal. Goddamn Zero, Gorb, Elder Who. Retainer, Wingmold, Markov. Ah, okay. So apparently there's 2 final bosses. Well, minor spoiler. As what always happens. Well, I have a bunch to look at. Okay, so I have at least 5 more to look for. Well, not 4 more. Alright. I'll call the stream here. Thanks for sticking around, Alyssa, once again. I'm gonna take a break and just hunt some creatures weaker than myself. You have a good night.